All right, Bonelli.
Let's do it.
Looks like we're live right now.
Cool.
So we're on. We are on now. We're on StreamYard, which is pretty cool. It's on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. So it's basically everywhere except for Instagram. So
Okay.
pretty cool.
Good. Easy ways to spread the news.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool because it has it live right on our blog too, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Well, amazing. Well, it's January 30th, and it's partway through the season hockey.
Well, for some people, it's the season's over in their head and their heart, but we're still plugging away. We still have a lot of people I think we can work with and help for sure.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome, and it's kind of the mid-season review. I know associations kind of look at how it was with CoachThem. We've had an amazing amount of associations that came on board this year. So it's been a huge uptick, and we just kind of want to give you a little overview of everything. So let's get started here. So basically, looking at our webinar, a little review. We're going to go into a little intro. Why has your association provided you with this tool? Who we are, and basically we want to save you time and money and inspire. That's the whole reason of CoachThem. And then we'll go into a very quick little demo. So now, Bonelli, you came up with some amazing. I always love working with you because we always come up with some pretty good stuff. But you came up with something, a pretty good quote here. I'll let you say it.
Yeah, so I don't know. And if I stole it from anybody, then I apologize. But it's just in the back of my head that we talk about, even when you work with kids, that they don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. And I always thought, like, well, we don't really know how good our practices can be until you actually run a great practice. You're like, oh my God, like that was easy. It was fun. Like the time flew by. Like I know one of the best compliments I get from the kids that I'm coaching is if they look and say, oh, are we done already? Like, oh, that went fast. Like, and to me, that's a great compliment.
No, it's pretty amazing. And when we were thinking about this, and this whole every single day I wake up, I'm just like, how can we go and I wouldn't say convince people to get on CoachThem, but to I try and understand why the hesitancy on some of these people trying to get on there. So it's pretty amazing that we're still trying to fight them to get on CoachThem.
Yeah, and we're going to go over some of the strategies to eliminate that adversity and that fighting and that the trepidation of not of the unknown. And I think that's a lot of it. A lot of us, hard for us to get on new platforms, change course, do something that we think is going to be not needed or harder. And I think today will show that it's not harder and it is needed.
So let's just jump right into it. I ended up creating this cool little graphic. Coach, your association, and either coach driven or development driven, right? It's maybe it kind of maybe a little bit of both, but I really think it's one or the other. So basically, when we ended up approaching associations, we basically asked, does your association care about development? And do you know how many associations said that they care about development?
I hope all.
all of them say that, but I'm going to say that when it comes to it, I'm going to say that there's nothing that they do to help with the development. A lot of the association, I'm in Toronto, it happens all the time. Oh, here's your team. See you later. And that is a very bad thing that's going on. And that's why I developed CoachThem, and we've evolved it, because I just find that there's so much these coaches could have in assets, and with the associations, just focusing on the little tiny coaching parts of the game. I think they could do a lot more with these associations.
Yeah, I also think it's just that what you talk about being coach driven or development driven. You know, that's one of the core principles you have to have in place, right? Is to know who you're hiring and why you're hiring, and then really why are you getting involved in coaching, and you know what are you looking to do? I mean, I think too many of us think, oh, it's picking a team, and then unfortunately, after your team's picked, your real job is then to cut the team, you know, and get new players to replace the players that you're not developing. And I've just never seen that as coaching. I mean, it's probably one of the reasons I've definitely had some run-ins with philosophical discussions with parents, only because I do feel that my job is to find players, develop them, retain them, and then train them. And I really, and coach them obviously is a huge part of why I have evolved as a coach, is because you know, the associations and the teams that I work with allow me to get this type of a program to use. And this is the key, right? The key is, you know, if we're going to have these kids under our you know, tutelage, then we need to be making sure that they're developing. That's our number one job. And again, can we compile a schedule and put a bunch of really good kids together, and maybe don't even need CoachThem, don't need practice plans, and don't need any of this stuff? Sure, it definitely works. But I think for the majority of us, this is the type of program we need for success.
Yeah. And we know directors can't be everywhere. Even if they are development driven, they can't be there to help every single coach. And obviously the associations wanted to provide a standard, right? They wanted to go and give the coaches some assets in order to get basically all the coaches on the same page within the associations.
Yeah, I think some minor goals for associations that I've worked with and been, you know, mentoring using CoachThem is just the fact that they want their coaches to have a lesson plan. And because I can back you up. If I know you have a lesson plan and a parent calls me up and says, "Oh, Weaver's practice was brutal. The kids don't do this, they don't do that." I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm looking at this guy's organized. All his practice plans are here. And guess what? It meets the standards that we want in our organization. He's producing that. Here it is right here, black and white. Or in your case, red, white, and blue.
And
whatever color you want, or whatever color you want.
Yeah. Well, and then also the association trying to bring coaches in the association together. And to be honest, we all help each other out, right? We all steal each other's drills. We all go, and we are all there for the right reasons. I'm hoping that you're there to go and help with development. So of the kids, and being able to share these assets, and we'll get into that in a second, is absolutely huge. It really goes and makes the association stronger.
Yeah, it's a big piece. And anybody that's on this call that has their association that's purchased this, you know, hoorah to you. And if you haven't, then, you know, if you're on this call and you're just kind of exploring and wondering, you know, oh, I wonder why we don't have that. You'll see that if you can, you know, stay tuned here, you'll see where, you know, you could really bring some ammo back to your organization to use that is going to help you be a better coach.
For sure. And then obviously right now, I don't think these coaches know. We're going to break it down here in a little bit, but it's saving you time and money. Basically, we're going to show you it's going to save between $3,000 and what did you say, $5,000?
Yeah. Now listen, it all depends on where you're at. Maybe in some areas it might not save you a lot of money. I know we've done previous calls on cost of ice and setting programs up, but I can tell you this: even if it's $3,000, $5,000, $200, whatever it is, it's also your time and your ability to put things together. And we're gonna go over that. It's not only about money; it's about your time and your energy and your commitment to your players that I think all of this falls under.
And associations want you to be your best coach. So basically, they're in it. There's a reason why they got CoachThem. Now, who you are, right? All these coaches that are on this call right now, right? This webinar, I'm going to say that let's go, and when we are going through these quick little points, and we're going to try and move pretty quick through this, I want you to go and pick which one you are. And so
Be honest. Be honest.
You have to be honest with yourself. So with time constraints, we understand some of our coaches just want to get a plan, right? Guess what? We have that on CoachThem. We have the free plans for the coaches. And some of the coaches just want to go and alter a plan. There's nothing wrong with that, right, Bonelli? Like,
no, I mean, so a lot of the stuff I'll do again, whether it's my own plan or a plan that's shared with me, and I wanted to tweak it. I don't have to redraw the whole thing. I might just say, listen, I'm really happy with the plan you've given me. I'm just going to be able to make it my own by alternate, and I can do all that, in my save and copy and save feature.
yeah, and some coaches taking the next step and they start from scratch, which is great. And then some, like your St. Louis Night of Skills, which was pretty awesome, but you came up with a theme plan. So that's next level. That's like adding videos and coming up with a theme, which makes it exciting for the kids to go through that.
Yeah, and I think the coaches too. I'm telling you, when I worked with the coaches on a lot of these theme practices, and I can share video and get that in there with them, it gives them so much ease too, because they don't have to decipher what I'm trying to say. They can see what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
and they can say, okay, that's a real game. Like that's a real game scenario there, and that's what I want to work on with the kids. And it really helps sells the parent. It helps sells the player, and certainly the coaches, because they're the ones that have to be on the ice, teaching those concepts.
Yeah. So check out the St. Louis Night of Skills in our marketplace drills. It is pretty awesome. It's 6 station-based practice. It's pretty cool.
All pretty good stuff, and a lot of stuff you're seeing right now currently with the Montreal Canadiens. I can guarantee it.
Oh yeah. Now, okay. So remember, time constraints. You figure out which one the coach is here. Okay. Now, you guys on the call. So levels. We got the volunteer, right? Hey, there's a lot of volunteers out there, right? But then there's the ones that, the basic, right? That is the next level up. So they're going and, maybe kind of understand the game a little bit. Maybe, probably not watching the Leafs, but then you got the advanced, right? Like next level up, right? Pretty advanced, probably going and coming up with practice plans by themselves. And then you got the pro, right? They're the, professional coach or maybe a skills coach of some sort.
Yeah, and all of these levels, there's some form of organization that you need to have. There's some form of sustainability and practices you need to have. Whether we're a volunteer coach, the basic coach, all the way up to a pro coach, we've got to be able to use the features in CoachThem to share and edit and save. You don't have to be, you could just be the volunteer coach that says, just give me a plan, I'll follow it. But there's still all these other aspects within CoachThem that allows us to use the features available to us to make us look like we're a high performing coach, whether you're a volunteer making no money or the pro coach making, $35,000 a year. Just, you can figure it out just within this, within the blueprint.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the on ice types. We've gone over in previous webinars, which I thought was pretty fun. But you got the wing it coach. Why don't you kind of go through it very brief of who these coaches are?
Yeah, so I think we all see in the wing it coach, the coaches that I can't, it's hard for me to stomach when they ask me to come out and help, and they'll be like, well, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? What did you do last week? I don't know. What did you do last week? And they're winging it, and they're just literally building the practice on the whim as they go. And then we call the king, there's certainly a lot of names for it. I'm sure a lot of people had a lot of names for me if they're coming out there and I'm not letting them do anything. But the king is just overseeing everything, controlling everything. All the other coaches that are on the ice aren't not only he is not or she is not asking them to help, they're unable to help. You're paralyzed. You're just there as another cone, guessing what the coach wants to do. The mad scientist, we've seen that all. If you looked at the 19 Miracle on Ice film, and you've seen Herb Brooks drawing all the X's and O's and the turns, and you go here and you go here, like that becomes that mad scientist type, coach where. Sometimes you almost outthink the room. You're coming up with stuff that just, it's not age appropriate and the players don't understand. And then, the organized coach with, which what I'm seeing is you could have a little bit, you could be an organized coach and be the king. Like it's just a matter. The organized coach is somebody that knows how to delegate, knows how to set up age appropriate practice plans, knows how to use any of these different levels. Like you could be an organized volunteer, an organized pro, You could be, and then how to use the plans from scratch, build them, theme plans, taking plans, being the organized coach. If you could find yourself to be an organized coach at any level that can deal with all these different time constraints, that's your unicorn. That's who you're looking for as an association director.
Yeah. And then kind of going into the technology part of it, you got your old school and you got your modern coach. So I'll be the old school coach and you be the modern coach. All right.
Well,
So
that's appropriate. So
you know what? These drills, they just take too much time, and plans take too much time. I put them on a piece of paper, write them down. I show up to practice and I have them right here.
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you say to that?
No, it's probably a great, and maybe it's a great plan. It probably is. You're a good coach, but you're not. Those coaches are now stuck. I mean, those plans are now stuck. You don't have, there's nowhere to develop them. They actually, it's more time. If you're using, I found, if I'm using CoachThem and I'm using it as a tool for my development, it gives me more time back. At the very least, if I have to build a practice and tomorrow I have to build a practice for an organization, it's all going to be from the marketplace. It'll literally take 8 minutes of my time to give something that not only can be shared, but if you share your paperwork with me, Mike, and your binder of drills, I have to decipher that. I now have to recopy that. I now have to, try to decipher what you're trying to say in this. Oh, and by the way, when I want to use just a piece of that, I've got to redraw the whole thing. And then so the modern coach now says, I want to draw a piece of it. I can just take one piece of it and use it. Yeah, so it gives you more time back. Anybody that says it takes too much time, or I don't have the time, or it's probably, it's probably somebody that's not doing practice plans at all. So that's the first step.
It's probably somebody that hasn't even tried CoachThem. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the CEO. I'm saying that because, like, trust me, we already did it, right? On a previous webinar, we did 8 minutes to create a practice plan on CoachThem. So, yeah.
And I think it was a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you know what? I think for my U9s, I'm going to go and do probably full ice, maybe a full ice one-on-one. What do you say to that?
This is one of the biggest questions I get from newer coaches. Like, where do I even, how do I know what I should be teaching the kids and when? Well, that's what's great about the filters and CoachThem. I can go in and I can say, I just want practices and drills for 8U. That's it. I just want to see what's in the marketplace. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there's literally thousands of drills in there. So
it's 1,400 plus, and most of them with videos.
It's crazy. And I could take and I don't even have to take the exact drill. The great thing is once I go in the marketplace and I take that drill, then I can make it my own, but within these age appropriate concepts. I can learn how to use station-based practices. I can use small area game activities. I can use constraint-based learning, and I can do that all within the CoachThem platform that's already giving me the blueprint of what is age appropriate and what's not.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know what? I am, I basically have I don't even know what to say about this one. Do you know what? I have a small drill, and I've, basically, I don't even know what to even say with this. So I utilize ice.
It's almost painful to even think about it. That's the problem. So you have, like, I see, and I tell, this is the old school coach. I won't name any names. I'm not going to point anybody out. But within the last 2 weeks, I've literally seen old school coaches that have no lesson plans, that have coached for a long, long time, have gone through all the coaching education. So they're level 5 coach, whatever that means, for them. But they're doing a small area game, which is great, on a full sheet of ice that they demanded because they have to have full sheets of ice. And there's 8 kids working at a time of a team of 20. Mm-hmm. And I look at that and I say, how are you not utilizing our most precious resource, ice time? We all complain about it. All of us say we don't have enough. And then when you watch these practices, and they're not using the ice anyway. So, the modern coach is going to understand you know, and use stations and delegates teaching, is going to be able to find 3 other coaches to teach these concepts and then dive in there and really get to teach and utilize not only ice, but utilize the ability to put your kids in a place where they're going 100%, like for the full time you have the ice.
Well, let's get into progression. You know what? I'm on the ice, and I'm doing, to start off, I've never taught my kids angling, and you know what? I'm just going to go and completely going to start off with do one-on-one full ice.
Yeah, one-on-one full ice, and you always see the kid, you know, the one kid strolls off to the right, the other kid strolls off to the left, one kid goes the wrong way, and nobody really knows what they're doing. They're trying to figure it out. And then what does the old school coach do? He blows the whistle, puts the kids on the goal line, tells them they're all idiots, they don't know what they're doing, and they can't learn. And you're like, well, I mean, you didn't even give the kids a chance. Like, there's no way you can be successful there. And I think, you know, the way we can do it, right? We can understand using the CoachThem marketplace and platform. We can start now understanding how skills evolve. And we can say, hey, I'm going to take the 8U book and I'm going to see how, you know, it's all written out. I can take the 8U lesson plans, and I know week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to week 4, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it's right there. It's in your lap.
Yeah. And just really the last bit, the static drill book, which I have, that's my drill book. I took a picture today of it. So that's that. I've transferred all these into to CoachThem. So what do you say about that?
So imagine right now, everybody on this call, everybody on this webinar, you say, okay, email me tonight and I will send you a fax copy of my drills that you can use. And by the way, you need to print all those out in your home, all 700 pages. You need to put them in a binder. You need to then refile them. You need to figure out which age groups they're good for. All that is what CoachThem is. It's a dynamic drill book. We all love the guys with the girls with the drill books. I love it. I love going to an office of a hockey guy and seeing like binders of drills and oh, this is a practice I ran when I had a 16U AAA team, and this is a practice. I love all that. But I want all that intellectual property right into somewhere where now I can share it and I can access it, and then I can use, you know, all the stuff I know to continue to let other people, you know how smart I am as a coach. Can't do that with a piece of paper.
Well, this is another amazing quote by Bonelli. I'll let you go. Take this away.
And it's true. It's CoachThem helps both the coach that knows everything and the coach that knows nothing. So if you're in an association that has 2 levels of coaches, you got the new mom and dad that are volunteering their time, they're just getting on the ice, and they say they don't know anything. Like, I don't want to coach because I don't know anything. Well, this platform's great for them. The coach that knows everything, you want that information from that coach. This platform is great for them as well. They can put those drills in there, archive them, share them. Your whole association benefits from the smartest coaches you have in your association, and they benefit from the coaches that know the least.
Well, let's get into who we are. Now at CoachThem, our goal is to make your coaching easier. We work on anything with a browser. So we work on tablet. I don't know if you've tried it, Bonelli, with a digital pencil. It works awesome.
I use my Surface Pro. I use a Microsoft Surface Pro, and it really does make a huge difference because I love drawing drills. Like, that's like, I don't like the mouse. I like drawing them and showing where they have to go and, you know, moving and kind of, you know, conceptualizing my brain. I personally like the tablet because I feel like I'm drawing on a drill diagram book.
Yeah, it makes things a lot easier. And then, guys, we have free drills. I said 1,400 drills. I think it's like 1,450 drills. And that is for hockey. We have soccer now, which we have 400 drills on soccer. Our drill admins are just amazing, just rocking it, making drills left and right. And then lacrosse, I think we have about 100, a little over, I think it's 150 now. So
I can't tell you how many of my hockey drills that I've saved and edited and brought over to lacrosse and put it on the lacrosse field and basically ran the same, like Hungry Hippo or picking up balls, picking up pucks, one-on-one. It's literally in a lot of ways, it's the same game. and you're able to take your hockey drill database, move it over, put it on the field, change a little bit of the wording, and you've got yourself lacrosse practice.
I love how you go and take it from the ice to the gym floor to, yeah. So you have a lot of stuff going on. I love how creative you are. Now, create new or edit existing drills or plans. Like we have, I think we have like 70 plans on in hockey for our marketplace. So if you go to the plans page, it's there. It's right there for you to go and take them and edit them and do whatever you want. It's pretty awesome. But Bonelli, do you create a brand new practice plan every practice?
So if I'm working with teams and organizations and I already have a predetermined, like say, for instance, I work a lot with the NHL Learn to Play programs, and it's like a 10-week program. It's basically the same program. It's the same lesson plan for 10 weeks, except there's little progressions in there. So on that plan, I might use the same plan, the same template, and then I would change little pieces of the drill, but I'll just save and edit. So now I'll have 10 save and edits. And I tend to do the same thing, depending on the level I'm coaching. And if I'm running a full ice practice, half ice practice, it all depends on which team and what level and what year. But basically, I don't go in and start plans from scratch, only because later on I want to be able to find these drills. So even when I do my header and I do my drill name, it might be like, Junior Rangers, September something, Tuesday practice, and then Thursday practice, then Friday practice, and then Tuesday practice, then Thursday practice. So all my headers look the same all the way down because I just take the same plan and I save, edit, and then I can, I could cut things off, but I can put things on. But I do like a lot of core drills that I use, and I could just stick them back in there again. I don't have to redraw them. I don't have to replace them. I just pop them in.
Everybody thinks you have to have a brand new, completely all brand new drills. I'm telling you, doing a drill 2 practices in a row, I'm telling you, the second time the kids do it, they master it. And that's something that coaches don't understand. Maybe make it a little bit more difficult, right? Add a couple more things to it. But that's why a lot of coaches don't really get progressions.
Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you step on the ice. I mean, the best thing there is for kids is just like school, right? You don't skip over, whole subjects or whole pieces of the teaching platform. You have to go piece by piece. So learn it, master it, move on, tweak it, learn it, master it, move on. There's no reason, if you're doing 10U hockey, I mean, if you could have that same practice plan 3 times in a row. I mean, almost the exact same. And I'll tell you right now, the kids love it when they feel like, oh, I know that drill, or I know what I'm doing there. Like they instantly go in much quicker and having a lot of competency because they have a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Now, our purpose is for you to never have to draw another drill again. Like if you can't find a drill within our 1,400 drills, there's only so many times you could do a drill, right? Like or create a drill. Like it's crazy, but I love our line up the top there. Ditch the pen and paper. Draw your drills online and share with your team. I'm telling you, like that is one of the biggest things. So one of the lines I should have put Mike Weaver here, but
I probably gave you this at one point anyway.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant. But draw your drill with a pen once. I'm gonna tell you, you win. But if you draw the same drill again, CoachThem wins, because if you draw the drill twice on CoachThem, if you draw the drill twice on a piece of paper, for the amount of time it took you to draw the same drill, put the descriptions and everything, make it perfect that your coaches understand. It would take less time to go and draw it on CoachThem, and then you have it there for life. So if you draw that same drill 3, 4, 5 times, CoachThem actually demolishes that stat. So
100%. I think this is where I really make my money. Like this is when I go into organizations, this is where I can be the biggest eye opener, only because not only am I living it as a hockey director, as a parent, as a program administrator, as just a hockey coach, I start saying, I want ROI. I want to know, okay, if I'm going to fork over this unbelievable amount, which is frankly, it's almost unattainable, $100 a year for a CoachThem account. And so if that's going to be the answer back to me, is like, Mike, come on, why would I spend money on this program? And then on the other side of me, he says, well, they're asking me, well, why would you want me to use this? Because you using it makes me a better administrator. If I'm an association president or a hockey director, coaches, you using this helps me. And why? Here's the reason. So one of the things I've been doing the last couple of weeks, now I've done this a lot, but I've never really done it in a scientific way. I've gotten a couple of these Helios pieces, like it's a tracking piece. And what I've been doing now is tracking stats in practice. And one of the things that stuck out to me the most was watching. This is like a 15U, 16U high school type practice. Pretty good coach, not a bad team. 55 minutes of total time on the ice. Like I watched the clock start, clock ended. During that time, what I'm finding was there was over 14 minutes where a couple of players, and again, these are the better players. I didn't pick the kids that would never play anyway. Over 14 minutes of inactivity, like not moving, standing in line, listening at a board, having the coach yelling and screaming. And so to me, that was like a really stark statistic.
Just wait, 14 minutes of activity or inactivity?
Inactivity. Like 14 minutes of not of now. The threshold, and I'll go into this in the next piece of the stat I'm seeing, but the threshold, like it was just 14 minutes where they weren't doing anything. Now, there was other parts of that 55 minutes that were just inefficient. Like they were doing the minimum. Like maybe they were a player, like you watch a player doing a flow drill and he does the flow drill. So he's in the drill. Like he's not being talked to. He's in the drill, but maybe he's the third set of D. So he's just waiting there. He's waiting there and waiting there and waiting there. And then the drill goes. Then the player gets in. So I didn't count that as inactivity, but it is inactivity. So when you watch the efficiency of an hour practice and the kids are only touching the puck for minutes out of that hour, to me, that's a stat I want to know about as a parent.
Yeah.
And as a program administrator, because I want to know, are my coaches not only teaching the most, but being the most efficient with the time I'm giving them? So this is when I was looking at tracking efficiency, is when I look at the players over that 55 minutes on a regular basis, the efficiency within the drills themselves weren't high. Like how much they're skating within a drill. Like, okay, again, they're not being talked to. They weren't being lectured to. They weren't just standing around. They were in the drill, but they weren't really active in the drill. And that was almost another over 14 minutes. So over a half hour of an hour practice, there's basically inactivity. And when you look at, when you break this down and it's some of the stuff we've done in the past, when I look at where I am, I'm in like the Northeast in New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area. But I work with programs around the country, and I pretty much figured out, most ice average, let's say it's $400. And when I just spend 10 minutes or 14 minutes of inactivity and I have 3 practices a week, what does that extrapolate out to? That's where we get these $3,000 to $5,000 per team lack of ice. So now you look at an organization that probably is upwards of $35,000, $45,000 of ice that they're not even using, that if they had a plan, if they had a purpose, if they had progressions, if they had organization, if they had accountability, they could get that $35,000 back. And that's why I was joking around about, give me that 35,000 and I'll give you the $100 for the CoachThem account. Because that's what you're wasting. That's what you're losing.
Well, yeah. So like looking at wasted time. So what would be the first thing for wasted time would be, well,
I see it like when I see a coach, and again, this is real life stuff, right? I'm watching every day in practice. Kids come to the rink. There's no plan. There's no mission at the beginning of practice. So for the first 5-10 minutes of practice, they're just shooting around. Okay, they're stretching. I mean, does my team really need to stretch? I mean, come on. Or can't we do a lot of this stuff off the ice prior to them getting on the ice? But if there was a plan in place and the kids could follow, they could see, like, we're not shooting around for 10 minutes. Like, we're getting into it. Like, practice starts at 6:00. We're on the ice, not 6:08, not 6:09, not 6:11. We start at 6, and here's how we're going to do it. Here's my plan.
Yeah. And then, well, yeah, stretching, I think it should be done off ice. I think it's crazy that you have people stretching on the ice. Equipment setup's a big thing. Obviously, if you are organized and you tell the coaches where everything's going or you share a plan ahead of time, huge, right? And then
no, so I stick out my plans. I have, like, a lot of these youth programs I'm doing, I have like 65, 68 kids on the ice with 6, 7, 8 coaches.
Wow.
If I don't have a plan, and I don't have as I'm talking to the kids and say, okay, hey, we're getting ready, they're setting everything up. Like, they're all of a sudden the kids turn around. It's like, oh, poof, here's that plan, that station, that's set up. But none of that. If I just said that somebody, hey, if I gathered 6 adults together and in 3 seconds, I'm like, hey, you got to go set this up. You do a 2-on-2, you go over there, do a deviator drill, you go over there, do a tag drill. They wouldn't even know to start. So they have the plan. It's all set up. They take it, they implement it. And they copy whatever I draw on the sheet, they put it down, and it just makes, but that's time. That's a lot of time. If you are spending your time setting up the drills, like say a lot of these station-based practices, you only have like 12 minutes to do the station. If it takes you 8 minutes to set the station up, you're basically not being very efficient.
Yeah, and it's crazy. The team that I work with, I show up, and well, he shares the practice plan the night before. The kids all know every single drill. They know every single drill. It's crazy. They don't have to go back to the sheet one time.
No.
And it's crazy. So now we're on the ice and we go from drill 1 to drill 2. The kids are actually going and pushing the pucks to the area. So it's not just the coaches that are doing it. It's the kids. The coaches are doing the pylons. Even the kids are helping out with the pylons. So I think it's huge that if you're organized with that plan, that you're able to share it with the whole entire team. And, we'll go, I don't know if we're going to get to it tonight, but there's so many different blogs that we could go and show. So, and then explaining it. I think the biggest thing is explaining the drill. Like I think it's one of the biggest waste of time. So let's do the math. Okay. So everybody here on this call, I want you to go and do the math. So so the first thing would be, what's the cost of ice per hour, right? We got to figure out that. So you go.
Yeah. So whether you're paying $125, whether you're paying $500, that's your baseline. What does it cost you to be on the ice for 60 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's per minute, right? So let's figure out what the average is per minute. And from there, like going in. So on average, I think, Bonelli, what would you say? It's about 15 minutes per practice, 15 minutes of wasted time.
I'm going to say, listen, I really think I'm being conservative. I'm going to say 15 minutes. I don't want to, again, there's some coaches that are great, but for the most part, 85%, it's about 15 minutes of inactivity and unorganized time.
So based on that, so 15, right? Times, what did you say your average?
Well, so mine is, so I'm going to do the Northeast where I am. Right? This is, I built 4 rinks in between Westchester, New Jersey, Connecticut, in New Hampshire. I know ice time costs pretty good. So with my ice costs, if I'm spending upwards of $585 an hour for ice in our region, right? Mm-hmm. That practice of me not being prepared and not doing anything to get my kids better cost me $146. $146. I mean, imagine that, $146. And and right there in the one session, you just paid for your platform. But in that one session, I just bought all my coaches, a bottle of wine for Christmas. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. So basically, if you're able to shave that minutes and instead of set up, you're able to go and bring it down to even just say 3 minutes, right? Right. You're able to go and have kids be involved even more in practice, like getting more puck touches, like that is the one thing that I'm just, so basically now we've basically changed it from being an extra additional cost to being obviously saving you money. You're actually saving. What was the final number for the year for you?
Okay, so I'll do it right now. So I have 3 practices a week. That's $438 a week, and we have like I'm going to give us a 25-week season. So that's $11,000.
Oh, it's not $11,000. That's crazy.
I'll do it again. It's $11,000. $11,000 in ice. That if I wing it, that, again, by the way, you association people that are on the call, on the webinar, and you run a big association, and you're paying your coaches, and I know a lot of you, right? A lot of us are paying our coaches $5, $6, $8 grand a year to coach, and they don't have a plan. They're disorganized. They're not ready to go. That coach is costing you over 10 grand in unallocated ice time. They're literally spending their salary. And I think that to me is like, that's where this association membership and having the association piece with your teams becomes such a huge asset, because you can take it and quantify it in real time. All of us could do the math. You could sit down with your coaches and say, I just watched 3 weeks of your practices. Every practice, you did nothing for the first 10 minutes. That's going to cost us at the end of the year $3,000 to $8,000, depending on what your hour per ice is.
It's true. It's crazy. Okay, so basically we just made everybody on this call. We just made them what, $3,000,
Well, forget it, Mike.
$10,000.
Just again, let's go back to this. It's not just the money, because maybe you say, I don't care. It's not my money. Parents paid for it. Doesn't matter. But it's about your time. It's about you only have a certain finite time on the ice to work with the kids. Why waste any of that? Like, this is the time. Like, if you're not accomplishing your goals and the kids aren't getting where they need to go. I mean, I wish half the kids I work with would take just 10 minutes at home stick handling.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine giving them that extra time back on the ice with you for nothing more than having an organized and purposeful practice plan.
Yeah. Well, I think it's nuts, but I know you and I think the same way, and some of the coaches might click in and be like, oh, I could teach more or something. But anyways, hey, and obviously Bonelli, you've seen all our blogs. We got a crazy amount of amazing blogs. Mitch Jaguar is just awesome with those. Mitch Harris is great. He has some great drills, Mitch Harris. But it's a wealth of knowledge. Everybody check them out. And our social media. I don't know if everybody's checked out our social media, but we have 37,000 or 38,000 people on our Instagram. You can see all the drills, and any of those drills, you can get it right in our marketplace. Also, we're on Twitter also, and we just did a soft launch of soccer. So those drills are coming. Like I said, we have about 400 drills on our marketplace for soccer. So yeah, it's exciting. So let's go and just jump through a quick little walkthrough. So again, here's our Instagram page. Honestly, everybody should be going and subscribing to this because it's awesome. So it's at CoachThem. But any of these drills, you can easily go and take that right to add it right to your practice. So here, if we go here.
I can't tell you how many of these I bookmark. I must have, my whole Instagram account is bookmarked with these CoachThem drills. But again, you can just go find them in the marketplace, and you've got these world-class, skills instructors and coaches that have their drills right there ready for you to take and use.
Yeah.
And edit, by the way.
Yeah, you could edit right away. And from there, you could go and just add them into your personal portfolio as well. So this corner work punch turns, if I go right into here and I go to corner, corner work punch turns. right here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So everything's right here, guys. So like if you can't find a drill within that, and then it also, hey, next level hockey, it was amazing drill. So all these, it's just amazing being able to take that drill and be able to bring it into to your plan. So here, so I just have a couple tabs open here. So if I wanted to go and bring this right into CoachThem into my station base, I could go and just grab that, copy it, and I'm able to bring it right over to here, which is awesome. It just allows you to go and bring it anywhere here. You're able to go and shrink it if you wanted to put it in the neutral zone. So it does in the video still here. Being able to, I'm not going to go into detail about drawing on CoachThem, but being able to just easily go and draw with a quick little line, being able to delete and being able to add anchor points using quick key commands to draw it. Being able to, from there, you have the different line preferences, endpoints, colors, thicknesses. So even just drawing a quick little, I always like to say I'm going from here to there, and then I just click on it. So it's very, very simple to go and draw it, having your forwards come down, being able to pass it to them. So also our new feature of just being able to drag it. If you wanted to hold on control, and you're able to go in and space them out, being able to grab them, holding shift, being able to change it to red, being able to take that drill and being able to copy it and paste it and bring it onto the far side with our quick key commands. Once you have multiple objects selected, H and V, being able to go and take this and convert it into a zone-based drill, being able to go full ice. So I think
this is not fair that you're good at this, but it is amazing what the as you're going in, like as you're building your practice plan, you're evolving it in your head, like you could in real time. Like imagine you just drew that and like, I don't like this drill. I don't like the way this is lined up. What are you going to erase it all? And then you got to throw out the piece of paper and start over again. Like here, you get to cut and paste and turn and move it and say, I don't like it. I like it. I don't need to redraw it. I could just take it. And I just think it's like, as you're watching right now, you almost have a full practice plan built without really doing anything else, but taking a couple of drills that you had and moving them around and tweaking them.
Yeah. And it gets to the point where I'm looking at, there is all these personal drills that I have, like I being able to go and grab them and not only just glance through and get inspired, but being able to go from your personal, like that handbook that I had of all those drills, now they're right in here, every single drill. I'm able to go and share them. If I wanted to share all of them with Mike Bonelli, I'm not going to.
Come on.
Maybe someday. But being able to share them with him and allowing him to edit it, so we're able to work together to create amazing drills. Your buddies that are in a city next city over, right? Being able to create an amazing coaching group. The NHLCAs, that's one of our partners. We do all their drill handbooks. So there's 130 drills. And if you attend the seminar, you get 2019, 2020, 2022, 21 and 23 coming up this year. We just started creating some new ones. So if you attend that, you get a link that you click on and it automatically populates all the drills right in your account. So imagine you're not just having your drills on your handbook, you're having your association drills, which that is a huge asset. That's why your association bought this for you. Hopefully they're doing a very good job of going and populating this. If obviously ask your director of player development to see if he wants you to go and share drills to that, but being able to go and share drills to this an amazing folder. The best is your coaches that come in there are not just going to get your personal drills, but they're going to get all your systems, all your standards that they are, all the standards that they are going and,
It's awesome.
delegating them, right? Like they go and I know Oakville Rangers ended up going and having all their playbook. They ended up going and adding them right into their association. So they have all these assets sitting right there. It's pretty amazing. But
Yeah,
now,
and a lot of associations too talk about, they want to have like consistency from level to level to level. This allows you to do that because it's right there, it's archived in, and a new coach comes on board, and the association president says, "Hey, just go in there, follow the 8U plans, and you're going to be able to fit, right into what we need you to do and stay within our standards." And guess what? When you want to evolve those drills or make them your own, you can take them, save them, put them in your own folder, and now you have them too.
it's that easy. Okay, I just want to get to a couple really quick things. I know we went over 45 minutes where we're trying to keep it into.
Jeez.
But going over to the plans, going into the marketplace, clicking on station plan, and then going into all these. We have 33 plans for U7, U8, and U9 and U10 that are completely for you here. So any amazing plans are right there for you here. Also going into our blogs. So, going into the association account. So if you click on up here, you go to accounts. On the left-hand side, this is where your association is going to be. So if this is an example, Burlington Eagles. So if I was just a coach, you would be able to go to the manage. This is where you add your coaches to it. You go and type in your coach's email address, click on add, and then make sure you click on the update button. That will go and invite them. This coach, new coach, he hasn't actually accepted it. So we could go and send another re-invite. So that's another option to do that. But the one thing is hold your assistant coaches accountable. Being able to go and see how many drills they've created, how many plans they've created. Bonelli, if you are on my team, I would be having you as my assistant coach because I would be the head coach, you'd be the assistant. But I would have you go and creating some drills for a practice. Like it's going and delegating it and allowing a coach to be like, all right, hey, what do you think we got to work on for next practice? Go and share a practice plan with, I'll share a practice plan with you, Bonelli, and then you're able to add drills in there that you think that you would be, the practice would, or your team would use or would be great for the practice. And then from there, we're able to work together to come up with that amazing practice plan. So,
yeah, well, one of the coolest features I like, excuse me, is when you go in and you come off the ice, you're on the ice, and the guy before you was on the ice. Said, "Wow, I really like that drill. Like that was cool. Like can you?" And in some of the organizations I'm currently working with, I can now go to that coach, go, "Hey, could you send me that drill?" And nothing. It's literally a click of an email, and that's it. And it's even easier because I could just save it right within my association folder. So if I love the drill and I'm like, wow, we all should be doing that. That was the coolest game, or I really like the way you set that up. It's so easy to save it. It's effortless. Does it from his phone, and it's a done deal. It's just easier to do. And I think it just brings so much more. We talked earlier about, what the impact is on coaching staffs. It really brings your coaching staff into a collaborative environment where you're not stealing from each other, you're supporting each other. You're like, I want to get that drill from you and I want to share that drill. And then I really liked it and I don't have as many kids as you. So maybe I can edit it and change the drill to be mine.
Exactly. And one thing that's pretty cool is this is what it looks like on your phone. If you just wanted to go and bring it, just your phone.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Also, if you wanted to go and print it out, there's a pretty cool option that if you go and click on print, and then from there you click on print again, what it does is it goes and creates a quick little PDF of your practice. And then from there, what you could do is you could share this link right up here, this URL, click on it. You're able to go and share that link with on Team Snap, going and sharing it on WhatsApp or whatever. If you want to text message your coach, you can, your assistant coaches, and being able to send it to a group. Ideally, within your association, you do have that option that you're able to go and share with the coaches right here underneath your team. So I would highly suggest that for that. But if you're going to be sharing it with your kids, I'm telling you, go share it with the kids on your team. They're going to be way more organized, and they're going to be a little excited that that's their responsibility, that they have to know the practice before they even get there.
Yeah, we have a ton of there's a ton of material on the CoachThem blogging area and videos of how easy it is to share. But I can't imagine ever running a team or practices again without sharing the lesson plan. And even just even from an association sales point, if you're working with 8U kids and you're doing like a learn to play or a novice hockey group, the more you can share your lesson plans with the kind of descriptions of what you're teaching and the key points, it's a great thing to share with the parents. They really know, number one is what you're talking about, but then they can reinforce the things you're trying to teach because they're reading it right there. Like they all got the lesson plan. Like there's nothing, we don't need to be secretive about it. Like I want the parents to know why I'm doing what I'm doing and, why they're playing ringette or why they're playing soccer or why they're playing My Little Pony tag or whatever it is. I don't want them thinking like it's just because I nothing better to do. I want them to have the answers to my test. And then the parents can reinforce all this with their little 8-year-old and 7-year-old because they now have the information that you're trying to give to your kids. So it's really invaluable to the growth of your organization.
Yeah, and it's one of the things I find that the coaches that are afraid to go and share the practice plan with the parents are the ones that probably should be doing better drills. Right. They're not doing the right drills.
Yeah, or they're just not confident in what they do. So again, we talked earlier. That was the whole subject earlier, right? It lets your best coaches, be your best coaches, and it also helps the coaches that aren't your best coaches. So when your association now can push and pull information throughout your group, and everybody could look like a good coach, because even those coaches that usually don't share their practices are going to be sharing tried and true drills and games that have worked within the organization and that they can implement. So trust me, they're going to feel much more, much better about, what they're laying out there as well, because they know it's supported from the organization.
Oh yeah. And then just really quick, checking out the Coach Mitch Jaguars. I'm telling you, it's
his stuff is so cool. I mean, he puts stuff out and you're reading, you're like, oh my God, I never thought of that angle of that. It's really great stuff.
It is so amazing. So even just clicking on here, I'm just going to add another tab here. Let's see here. So he does position before possession. I use this a lot. And he goes and has an NHL drill that he goes and breaks down. He breaks it down, body position. So before you touch it, you go and position it, and then he goes and has activations for this, which is really cool. Each drill has a video, and it's right in CoachThem. If you guys go into the plans part, and you go to the marketplace, it's right in our newsletter. So it's pretty cool. We got all the drills, and we didn't even mention this. Mike Johnson, we ended up doing his 30 and 30 drills. So it's actually really cool. Very good. Every single one has a video of him going and explaining the drill.
Well, again, even if you're the coach that wants to give this to another coach, the video is huge because it helps you describe what you're looking for. Like a lot of us can't read, F1 goes here, F2 goes here, D1 goes here. When you see it in the video, it just clearly gives you the what the concept is and how you can teach that.
Yeah, and right now we don't have the option that if you share a video with a link for the PDF, we don't have that option, but that's something that we're looking into. But well, hey, Bonelli, it's way over time. 1 hour. It's probably past your bedtime.
No doubt.
So anyways, hopefully everybody got what they wanted out of this. I didn't want to go into even more detail just because there's so much to go over. One of the cool things, if you go to this, the Sketchpad 2.0 live launch webinar that has our redesigned Sketchpad 2.0, but then all the green ones are all the new really cool features. One last thing, guys, this really helps out a lot of our coaches too. If you go into the help center, so resources at the top, go into the help center. If you go into drills and then you click on the Sketchpad drill drawing features.
Yep.
It's actually really cool. It has all the animated GIFs of every single feature that we have. So it will go and give you a little a little boost in creating it on CoachThem. So awesome. Well, Bonelli, I know I always have fun with you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I'm on one of these, I learn a little bit, and I'm amazed at how quickly you draw drills, and just gives me the opportunity to remember, how much stuff's in the marketplace that sometimes I don't even access, that I'm redrawing myself. Like you said it earlier, none of us are inventing like the greatest drill in the world for the first time, but there's a lot of, reiterations of those drills that are in all these drills. So if you need a template, if you need a good place to get started, it's just an easy way to go in and then create your own from there, depending on your circumstance.
Well, thank you so much for everybody attending.
Awesome.
Hopefully we've helped out a few guys feel a little bit more comfortable getting on CoachThem. And honestly, your association bought it for you. What's the harm? I don't understand. What's the harm in just going in and stealing our drills and going and grabbing, putting into a practice plan? So amazing. Well, thanks so much, Bonelli. Always a pleasure. And hopefully I see a lot of these coaches on the call soon. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Mike.